Last week, Fish Thought Audio came out and it's a competitor to 11th Lab to voice clone and do text to speech. So in this video, I'm going to test how it works and see if it's a good replacement for 11 Labs. So here I'm logged onto Fish Audio, so you can build your own voice here and train your own model, and then you can also do text to speech. I made another video before about best practices for voice, so let me just go over them again. So when you want to make it do AI voice, you want to make sure that the script is very clear. So do not use abbreviations like Dr. or Mr. or Mrs. Right? You should say doctor, like spell it out. Like do not use figures, use numbers, spell all the numbers in words. Do not use symbols, like always spell it as words. For abbreviations like Saturday, Sunday, use the full word. Try not to use contractions. Always try to use proper punctuation. So if you want like natural pauses, then add a comma. And then sometimes it messes up on uncommon names and words, so we're gonna test that today. And when you specify times and dates, specify in text, don't do like 3:00. For like streets and addresses, like spell it out. In 11 Labs, you can specify the tones and more, but we're not gonna test that today. And try to split long sentences into shorter ones to improve clarity. So again, we'll test that today, see if it can actually perform well. And ensure consistent formatting for repeated phrases. So I made a test below, and this is the exact same test I did last time. So first we're going to give it a name, like we're going to use abbreviations, and then we're going to use like a weird name and see how it can say. So how can I assist you? All right, so let's start. Which was the most popular one? All right, let's just use Trump.
Good morning. This is Dr. Magan Samuel from Healthcare Associates. How can I assist you today?
That one's pretty good actually. So it got the name right. And then now let's try the address.
Perfect. So that is 124 Torontonians, Jeffrey, Etobicoke, Ontario, O, Del 2 R4, South 5.
Let me put that again.
Perfect. So that is 124 Torontonians, Jeffrey, Etobicoke, Ontario, O, Del 2 R4, South 5.
So it sounds like I messed up the postal code. So that wasn't good. But also like we should have spelled it out. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's try this, right? So let's try like doing a contraction and then the dates.
Euronymous, Klamath Ermon, on Sun, the 31st of December, 2999 at 23.
So I messed up the part. It didn't say the minutes afterwards. So that's a little disappointing. And it said Sun. It didn't say Sunday. Okay, so now let's do like a longer text. So here we have a full script like, hello, my name is like Alexander, whatever. And then I'm from, and it's using a lot of really big words to see if it can answer. And then we wanted to ask questions and see how it can answer. So let's try this now. Okay, so this is too long. So let's split it up.
Good afternoon. This is Alexander Demosthenes from the Bureau of Demographic and Sociopolitical Quantitative Analysis, a subsidiary of the Intergovernmental Statistical Aggregation and Research Corporation, calling on behalf of the Government of Canada. How are you today? I'm calling to solicit your participation in a comprehensive and multifaceted survey concerning demographic and sociopolitical parameters. Do you have a few moments to contribute to this important research endeavor?
So if you notice, it was how you do today. It didn't do an inflection at the end. It doesn't sound natural. So, and at the end, it sounded very flat. So like that sounded kind of weird. So let's ask these questions. I will articulate this. Let's try this. That's too much. Okay. Let's try this.
When to begin, could you delineate your primary occupation or vocational engagement? 2, what is your current domicile in terms of municipal jurisdiction and provincial territory? 3, could you specify your predominant linguistic and cultural affiliations? 4, in the past quinquennial period, Have you participated in any municipal or federal electoral processes? If so, could you elucidate the frequency and nature of your participation?
So it doesn't recognize the punctuation very well, which I said before.
Should you have any further inquiries or require additional information, please do not hesitate to contact the Bureau of Demographic and Sociopolitical Quantitative Analysis at 1-800-55-1234. Once again, this is Alexander J. Demosthenes, Intergovernmental Statistical Aggregation, and this is Alexander J. 1234, Quantitative Analysis.
So far, I think the fish model is pretty good, but it's not like perfect. Like it can't do punctuations properly. It can't do like question mark after the question mark, like inflect the voice. It cuts off on times. When we did the hours and minutes, it messed up. But some of those could be a little bit fixed by the script. But I just want to test like how good it was out of the box. So far, I don't think it's up to the mark, but it's closer than I would say most other open source voice clone software. So in terms of like the premium pricing, so they give you 50 per day, but you can also subscribe. So let's see what you get for subscribing. So I think they are limiting by the usage. So there you go, how to use API, $15 per million tokens. So basically for every 3,900 characters, it's $15. If you go to 11 Labs, so on the starter plan, they do 30,000 characters versus this one is doing 3,906 characters. So for the starter plan was $5. So I think they're way more expensive than 11 Labs for 30,000 characters versus 39. So I think all in all, Fish Auto, it's a good attempt. You know, it might be like maybe player number 3 or 4. 11 Labs still on top, but I think so far it's better than a lot of the other open source ones so far.